Okay, for next week's assignment, I'm going to have you do a three-step exercise. And in this first video, I'll explain the first step, which is creating a 7-step value scale. So we've created a 3-step scale in black and white and a 5-step scale in black and white. And with our 7-step scale, we're going to do something a little bit different. It's really important to be able to look at color and relate it to value. So with the 7-step scale, I'm going to ask you to choose one of the colors in your paint box and to make a 7-step scale with a single color and white. Okay, so it's going to be important for you to pick obviously one of your darker colors. So I've used phthalo green. You could also use alizarin crimson or ultramarine blue, but something that's very, very dark. When you open it up, it looks almost black because you want the biggest range possible of light to dark, obviously, because we're going to be using this scale to do a small painting later. So with the 7-step scale, you do it just the way you did these other scales with sort of small changes. So one of the things I've done in this scale is I want us to be able to see the color change all the way across. And that means in your first step, instead of going pure white, what I want you to do is come in a little bit from that pure white, and to get just a touch, just a little tiny bit of your, whatever that tube color is, into the white, so that you get a very, very light version of that color rather than straight white. If you use straight white, then it's going to look too different from these. It's going to feel like something separate. Okay, so we're trying to create a scale where the color is unified across the board. Similarly, at this bottom end, if you put in that really, really dark color and you put it in really, really opaquely, it's going to look almost black. So again, it'll kind of separate from these. So what I want you to do there is just come in a little bit from the black, get a little touch of white into it so that you can read that color. So as dark as you can get, but still read that that's a green or a red or whatever it is that you choose. Otherwise, the process is the same. So hit your endpoints, come in the middle, and then work your way towards the edges I find easiest. Now with this one, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time on it to get even steps across the scale. Also, there's real tendency, again with acrylic, to get the scale too dark. So you're going to have to really push yourself to make these first steps light enough. So err on the side of going maybe too light at the beginning. Because what you want at the end of the day is, like, when you look at this end, you want that to feel really light. You want these three to feel like part of the dark end, and this is your bridge value in between. So if you look at your scale from a distance and if the dark seems to really push down here too much, then you've gone too dark, and then you're limiting yourself for your painting. If everything's too dark, then you're not going to obviously have very many light values to work with. So you want a really good stretch. So this just takes longer. It took me longer to get it than this. Probably took me twice as long as to get it as with the 5-step scale. So take your time with it and try to get even steps. Try to get enough light to the end of the scale.